song that grows from my tender sentimental woes. That was my heart trying to compose a prelude to a kiss. Though it's just a simple melody with nothing fancy, nothing much. You could turn it to a symphony.
Now all is gone. Gone is the rapture that thrilled my heart. Gone with the wind. The gladness that filled my heart. Just like a flame, love burned brightly, then became an empty smoke dream that has gone. Gone with the wind. Dave, I get this idea after catching Billie Holiday's set out at the Bowl last week and hanging out with her in the studio the first night she and the band laid down some tracks for a new record. Well, you know, she's staying around the corner at the Dunbar this past month while she's here in L.A. Dave and I have not seen her so upbeat about a session in years. She's surrounded by familiar faces like Sweets Ellison on trumpet and Benny Carter on alto, and she's digging the challenge of doing some songs she's never recorded before. One of these songs is Gone with the Wind. But not that melody, Dave. Very funny. No, you know, the song I'm talking about was written back in '37 to cash in on the success of that wildly popular piece of fiction. Really, the only thing the book and the song have in common is the title. Yes, that's the tune I'm talking about. It's pretty, actually. But Billie didn't bother with it back at the time. No, and while the rest of the world spent the next several years consumed by scarlet fever, Billie began performing that other song, whose lyrics tell a very different story about the South than the one in Margaret Mitchell's epic. And tonight I'm on the phone with Lady Day to ask her a little favor. And before I can get 2 words out, she's asking me if I heard what happened in Mississippi. Telling me that a black boy named Emmett has been killed. A boy who wasn't even born the first time she sang that ballad 15 years ago. Strange. Strange. A long time ago, I stood under a moonlit sky and washed my feet in the waters of the Pacific Ocean. I stood at the western edge of this continent, far away from my past, far away from the South. Wash away the pain. Wash away the grief. Wash away the madness wash away the blood, and find another new life, another new home, another new song. But what else did I find here? Misguided nostalgia, inspiring night spots with names like Little Eva, the Swanee Inn, and the Plantation Cafe, where darkies sing and dance and grin and serve. And every white girl can be Scarlett O'Hara. Even a shopkeeper back in Money, Mississippi, stuck serving a colored boy from Chicago, Illinois. Strange. Why did Emmett's people let them take him in the night? Why? I, who have left so many of my own behind, am in no position to judge. I know what a terrible thing it is to have a piece of your future stolen from you. But what about George Lee? On May 7th, not 4 months ago, Reverend Lee was killed by the blast from a shotgun fired from a passing car. Why? Because this Negro pastor ignored a warning to remove his name from the voter list. Where was Reverend Lee killed? In Belzona, Mississippi, less than 60 miles away from Emmett. And Lamar Smith, on August 13th, less than 3 weeks ago, he was shot to death in broad daylight while dozens watched. Why? Because he dared to participate in a political campaign and vote in the August 2nd election. Where was Lamar Smith killed? On the courthouse lawn in Brookhaven, Mississippi, less than 200 miles away from Emmett. M is for Mississippi. M is for murder. Even though George Lee and Lamar Smith were middle-aged men, and Emmett Till was barely a teenager, they all represented the future. The men devoted their lives to fighting for the future of boys like Emmett. 100 years ago, in Mississippi and the rest of the South, when we were slaves, only a foolish white man would kill one of us. If nothing else, we were valuable property. If you killed one of your own slaves, especially a young and healthy one, you'd lose your investment. If you killed someone else's slave, you'd have to pay to replace him. So when we disobeyed, tried to run away, or were in any way unmanageable, there were all kinds of punishments that could be inflicted to break us. Better to wound the soul than to kill the body. But in the South today, the life of a Negro man or boy is cheap. Those who would control us, those who fear us, those who are blinded by rage, have no qualms about resorting to a bullet to the head. Until there is justice, they'll keep on killing, keep on trying to kill the future. The future. Strange. So David, the reason I called Billie Holiday in the first place this evening is is to ask her to stop by and sit in for a few songs this evening. What can I say? Business needs boosting. And just because she's the lady of the Sunset Strip now, doesn't mean she's too good for the stem. But after what's happened, no way I'm gonna ask her to sing Them Their Eyes, or Ain't Nobody's Business, or Gone with the Wind. But I still want her to come. So I just spit it out. Miss Eleonora, I say, because you know that's what I always call her. And I've known her long enough to be the one person who can. Miss Eleonora, I really think you ought to stop by the club tonight and do the Lewis Allan song. She don't answer right away. But after a moment she says, Henry, I love you. You know I do. But I'm too mad. And I'm too sad. And I'm too... I can't do it. But I tell you what, you sing it just this once, and I won't be mad at you. As a matter of fact, I'll be sitting there listening. So don't fuck it up. Well, right then.
Here is a stray